Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Please welcome Maria, and she is a Starscribe and a multidimensional medium. Hi, Maria. How are you today?
Hi everybody. It's great to be here. I'm excited.
Your background matches our background. Isn't that amazing? I love your room in there. It's so high vibrational. Do you see the your covering
Yeah,
behind you?
right. Has a lot of the purple hues. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, you look beautiful today. Thank you very much for coming on as my guest. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Well,
So
thank you
I
for
just
having me, Jean.
I would just like to say hello to a couple of people in the chat. I see Flowing, I see Viviani. Thank you for being here. Esther G and the Crone Zone. Crone Zone is here. And thank you all. And Alva Yarder stopped in and she was one of the first ones here. I'm sure she'll be back. Melinda Salinas. And here Alva Yarder is back. Hi, Alva. She wouldn't miss it for the world. Um,
Hi.
so thank you everybody for being here. And I wanted to introduce you to my friend Maria. Maria and I have been collaborating for several months. We met each other on another channel called Unbiased and on the Fence, where I do mediumship or psychic and mediumship readings for Shane on Unbiased and on the Fence. And that's where Maria and I bumped into each other a while back in the chat, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Your
And
your story was amazing. I had to contact you.
we felt a very strong connection
There
to
was
one
some
another.
yes. Hmm.
And there's some techniques and some experiences that I wanted to learn from Maria and vice versa as well. So we wanted to work together. And look who's here, Dave Maud. Dave Maud is here. The whole gang is here. Dave is also from Shane's channel as well. And we're all one big community. We all are intermingling here together, and we're practicing the unity concept as well. So that's beautiful. Yeah. Hi, Luann. Oh, everybody's here. So nice. So, Maria, would you start by telling us a little bit about how and you discovered that you had abilities for being a psychic medium?
Well, since I was a child, I was able to see and hear spirits. They were always around me, terrifying me. um, I had to learn as I went what the spirits wanted. I didn't even know why they were around me. I had no
Mm.
one to turn to for this. So I kind of lived with it. Just at first, I thought it was normal because I know my brothers and my sisters could see. And so it was kind of like I thought it was normal because we all could kind of see them. But I had a lot of experiences with them in my just following me around wherever I went. Um, Not only could I hear and see, you know, past loved ones or not even people I didn't even know. They mostly were earthbound now that I look back because there was a lot of I'm very empathic, so I could feel their pain,
Okay.
and I would see images of how they died. That was pretty terrifying as a child. Um, so as I grew older, I just started to block it off because we were very religious. We weren't allowed to speak of it. And if I
Oh,
tried to bring it up, I would be told, "Oh, I have a good imagination," or "Oh, we don't talk about that. It's demonic. You're talking to demons." So I would just shut it down. Um, but not only was it the past loved ones or humans, I was also speaking to animals. I could talk
oh,
to animals telepathically and plants. The plants would speak to me, and it seemed like they were beings that lived in the plants. And I didn't know they were fairies or elementals. I just thought they were just plant beings. So I would play with them when I was a child, and especially at springtime with the flowers. I would ask permission to pick them, and some would say not yet, some would say yes, and I would play with the flowers, and the little beings would come around and play with me. I could hear them. It was just, I guess I had a very strong imagination when I was a child. That's what I was always told. But as I grew older, um, I just shoved it to the back. Um, I ended up taking myself to a psychiatrist thinking I had schizophrenia or something was wrong with me because it was just all the time voices. I couldn't shut
Oh,
it off. I
wow.
could not shut it off, and they were always around me, and I could not shut it off. And it was driving me crazy. I was about 21 when I took myself to see a psychiatrist, and they put me on all kinds of meds,
Oh,
antipsychotics to stop the hearing and the visual, the audio and the visual, but it didn't work.
oh, wow.
It didn't work, but it continued. But it did calm it down a little bit, and but the experiences continued to happen, and it was very dark for a while. But now I look back, I was in a dark. I was very dense and dark myself because I came from a very dark and traumatic childhood.
Mm,
And so there was a lot of darkness in my life, like a lot of sadness and negativeness. I was bitter and angry. And so I held on to that. So my experience of spirit was more negative through the years, until just recently in 2017, I had a spontaneous awakening.
wow.
And
Tell us about that.
I was just shown so much. I was shown, the tree showed me that we were connected with energy, and we're connected to the stars, we're connected to each other. And as I was learning these, it was a span of 5 hours of intense information downloads that were coming in, that I couldn't grasp it all, but I understood so much. And it even pulled me out of my religion. So I was still in my deep Christianity when I learned who Christ was, who Jesus really truly came here for. And I'm like, oh no, the church got it wrong. The church got it wrong. And my husband's like, don't lose your religion. But it took me 7 months to actually go through the process after that awakening of letting go of my belief, my church beliefs, the fearfulness. But I was shown so much. And even I stayed in a state of bliss after all the downloads. I might tell that story fully. That's a long story, but I might tell that story on my channel about how that all happened and what I learned, and
Yeah.
how from that day, well, I was blissed out for 3 weeks where I was one with everything. I felt
Wow.
this oneness, and this vibration was so high that I was in that I used to have a morning coffee. Even the smell of it, like, I don't know, women who've been pregnant have that, they get that morning sickness kind of thing. I was like, oh, this is nasty, or the way it smelled, or anything that was, I guess, lower vibrational, I couldn't eat.
Wow.
All I was drawn to was berries and salad, lettuce, salad. And that lasted for 3 weeks. And I could hear, or I think it was telepathy. I had telepathy at that time, and I could hear other people's thoughts,
Yes.
and I could see what was going to happen in, like, in a minute. Like, I would see someone in the kitchen doing a certain thing, and then I would walk in and they're doing it. And I was
Wow.
like, what? And this was happening all the time. And this oneness and this unconditional love that I was in for humanity. This love I felt for people that I didn't like. All of a sudden, I love them. And that was so amazing. I'm like, what is this? What's happening to me? I was shifting. I found that it was a full blown Kundalini awakening,
Wow.
because it blew my third eye open. It blew. my abilities like increased tenfold. I was seeing angels. I was seeing ETs, elementals. I was having so many experiences. And then I was
Wow.
being guided. I felt guided to start learning to do tarot cards, which was totally a taboo for me to do
Wow.
tarot cards. Yes. And I was like, no, because I was still working through my Christianity. But I went ahead and started with angel cards because I felt like,
Right.
okay, well, let me try angel cards. It made me feel safe. And the information would come in with the cards. And then I started to move toward other cards, but more oracle cards. And
Wow.
I would practice with my kids. They were open to
Mm.
allow me to do readings on. Let me practice on you. I don't know what I'm doing, but let me try this. And it just opened up my psychic abilities even more. Because when I was a
Wow.
child, I don't even feel like I knew things. I just was just always had spirits around me.
Right.
But
So let me
okay.
Let me just stop you there. So I didn't realize it had only been 5 years since you had your shift, your awakening, and what a brave soul! All of that time throughout your entire life, not knowing exactly how this was going to be used, and then for this, like a dawning, an awakening, but like a dawning, and all of this to happen to you all at once. This strength that it must take for your energy to try and balance all of this out. It's like it was all one way, and then it shifted all the way the
Yes.
other way, and now the teeter is going back to like more of a balance. Wow, wow, what an amazing experience and life in this human existence that you've
We're
experienced so
starting to
far.
we're starting to slow down again.
You mean the internet? The can you hear me? It is. It's
Slowing down again.
sorry.
Is it both of us? Goodness gracious. I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay.
But
But it's just an amazing your strength and tenacity to go on this quest and to unravel all of the mysteries that you were shown and to bring you to this point. And you now are a card reader, a psychic, a medium, and a starseed healer.
yes, the starseed stuff started with after the angels were helping me for about a year. They were helping me through releasing a lot of my religious programming and habits, smoking cigarettes, and they were just helping me. So eventually, when I started understanding a little more, that's when the ET started coming in. And at first, I thought they were demons because that's all I've known. I've never seen ETs before. And I always thought they were demons. Now that I look back, when I saw demons, they might have been ETs.
So
Um,
when you say that you see, is it in your third eye or is it in your like vicinity in your
mostly
room?
in my mostly in my third eye, but I can see with my naked eye, with my eyeballs. If I sense, I can see them peripheral. It's sometimes directly,
Wow.
sometimes, but mostly it's in my third eye that I can see them. If
Wow.
I see if I see an orb or a shaft of light with my naked eyes, I'll close my eyes and then I'll see more details of the entity that's just come in. That's
Oh, I see.
they've been training me for the past 5 years because
Yes.
I've took like small classes, like intuitive classes to learn how to. I didn't know anything about chakras. I didn't know anything about the Eastern stuff, esoteric stuff. So I was learning that, and the guides were just nudging me all the way, and they kept changing. Like first it was Metatron that was helping me, and then you know Archangel Michael and Raphael are always around me. But then it was switched. Like I had a professor whose name was Philip. He was an English professor from the 1800s that was teaching me communication, mediumship. He was my
Wow.
mediumship guide. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it was a human. It was a professor with an English, it's the Oxford, I think he said. He went to Oxford. He was a professor at Oxford in the 1800s. And he told me his first name was Philip, but I never got the last name to look him up, see if he was really,
Wow.
you know.
What
Um,
an amazing blessing and experience, and for you to have gone through all of the struggle earlier in life to have all of this unfold for you, and for you to have the wherewithal to, I mean, I guess it's, you have a guidance. Your soul inside of yourself knows what to follow and what not to follow, what to listen to and what not to listen to. It was just you getting out of your own way and letting your
mhm.
soul guide you, letting your guides guide you through your soul, and getting more in connection with that energy that is your soul, that is in connection with all this other energy.
Back in 2014, I was at the right place at the right time, where I was in a beauty salon with my mother and my aunt. And my mother was getting her hair done. And as I sat there talking with my aunt, keeping her company, I kept seeing something in the back room. She had a little curtain for the back room. And I would get up to use the restroom. And every time I walked into the back room, I would fall over, dizzy, and I would fall over on the couch. She had a little studio back there, like my little place,
Yes.
full of jars of like herbs. And the energy felt different there, but I didn't know anything about energy. I didn't know what was going on. So she noticed that. She would look at me in the mirror while she's cutting my mom's hair, and she asked me, "Do you see something?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lady standing there in the curtain. She keeps pulling it open." She goes, "Oh, that's not mine. That's yours." I'm like, "Mine?" She goes, "Yes, you brought them in." And I'm like, "Oh." She goes, "Because all I have back there are angels, and the reason why you're falling over is because the the frequencies were way off. They're so high, and I come in with my low density, and I'm being knocked over by this energy." So my aunt asked her if she would give me a session. She did a hair in the front of the salon. In the back, she did energy work. She was an angel healer. And I was not like, oh, I'm like not into that. But she's like, just do it, because I was always depressed through my whole life. I remember back at 9 years old, I was depressed. I always felt oppressed and sad and just wanting to die all the time. My aunt wanted to help me, so she's like, just let this lady, do her work. So I'm like, oh, all right. So when she was done, she took me to the back room, and she just used a pendulum and some charts. She unrolled these charts, and then she was just speaking in Spanish. And she said the angels were doing a healing on me, and she told me there were thousands of human souls all around me, thousands. I'm like, why? She's like, you attract them. She didn't tell me why I was attracting them. I didn't know it was a medium. And she just says, you attracted them, but I'm sending them through the light. I'm sending them home. But then she said there was an entity, a dense one, that was with me, that was oppressing me.
Oh, wow.
And she said it was hard to get rid of the angel. She had to call more angels in to get rid of it. She was very dark, dense, and it was stuck to me or beside me. And then she finally told me it left. Then she told me, you need to get off your medications. I didn't tell her I was on medication for the
Wow.
depression and the psychosis. She goes, you need to get off your medicine. And she goes, and then your life will change. And then I'm like, she goes, stay happy, stay in a good, mentality, and don't go back to being depressed. So since then, that's when I started really working on myself, and I got off the meds, and things started taking off for me. It just led to the Kundalini awakening.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
my brother, who passed away in 2015, started coming to me in dreams, giving me messages, speaking through me. He'll come inside of my body and speak through me. And then
Wow.
I would wake up and writing, the message down, and then I would give it to my loved ones. because they're messages for them.
Right.
I didn't know he was training me, and my brother was training me, yeah, to become a spirit channel. This is something I'm just learning about myself because I could channel loved ones.
Right.
And when I do one-on-ones, they speak in the first person and my voice changes and my energy changes where they can actually feel them. I
Wow.
could hug them and they would feel their
Oh,
loved ones. It's like I didn't know that I was doing that, but it's become stronger. It's becoming more intense as I continue to do the work on myself, lighting up, lighting up myself, keeping myself in a higher vibration.
that's very, very
Healing,
important.
big time. Healing is a big one. Is to heal your traumas from this
Yeah.
life, other lives. Yes. And that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years is just working on myself. And as I do, I would get upgrades. It seems like every 3 months, they would come in and tell me, you're going to get an upgrade, an attunement. They would just tell me that I would get all the ringing in the ear, the dizziness, and the different points of energy. I could feel it. So,
Wow.
excuse me.
Wow. That is fascinating, Maria. Fascinating. And it's so important. This is why we say, tell everybody, and we often repeat ourselves and say, it's important for us to take care of ourselves. It's important for us to do the work and to forgive. It's important for us to raise our vibration and sing and have laughter and watch funny things. It's not just so that we feel better in this energy. It's so that we're ready to experience more information and more experiences. It's it's very. I mean, you are a beautiful example and an amazing example of what how we can change and what is available to each and every one of us. I mean, if we are breathing and we have a heartbeat, we have a soul. If we have a soul, all of this energy and experience is available to us. This is all of our abilities. Just it's a natural born right as a human being to experience our soul's vibration and to be connected with our soul's origin and our guides. I think that this is maybe how humanity originally was always meant to be. And Maria, I see that you're just frozen a little bit. We're having some difficulty with the internet, but I'm sure that she'll come right back. We're using her phone, so I think it'll come back in just a minute, hopefully. Um, but I can see that we're still live here. So I just wanted to say that's such a beautiful example and reminder for all of us. And important for all of us to I could also now I'm hearing it could also be the energies because she was raising her vibration and connecting to her guides, and that may be affecting her internet as well. She may go out and come back in a couple of times, which is fine too. um, so Maria, take your time, come on back whenever your internet comes back up again. We did this a couple of times before we started. There you are. We may have to do it a couple of times. I think your energy got too strong. How are you now? Can you hear me?
That happens to a lot of us, huh?
Yes,
There we go.
yes.
Yeah.
Like you're good now. You're good now. It may go in and out. We're using a hotspot, so we're just maybe we can bring it back down a little bit. Our energies.
That's what I'm trying to do. Because I wanted to say, I still, I'm still not sure what my calling is. Okay, because I was doing the mediumship for a while, but now I'm being pulled to do the starseed stuff. And let me explain about the starseeds. I was I was getting a lot of contact with ETs, and I started to realize who they were. They were introducing themselves to me. Um, Syrians, Arcturians, Pleiadians. Lyrians, Orions. I've been just all kinds of them. And I didn't know where this was going, but they showed me that when I was 8 years old, this happened to me when I was 8 years old, in the span of the whole summer. Um, there was a vortex that would open up in the wall, and these beings would walk out and surround my bed. And telepathically, I could hear them whispering to each other in another language. And I was always paralyzed. I could never move, but I don't remember being taken or anything. But I just remember those times, and they would just stand around my bed. Sometimes there was five beings, sometimes there were seven, and they were just tall. They had no faces, and they just used to look down on, surround me on my bed, and look down at me and just do that. But after that 3 month span, I was able to see more with my eyeballs. I started seeing elementals. That's when I started seeing more. And they told me recently that it was a contract I had with them to turn me on more at that time. And then I guess I had to make my way through it all, learning on my own, um, all the spiritual experiences I was having. I had a very, through all the trauma, I had this parallel. I'm going through so much trauma, yet I have this light. I had this light within me that though it was dark, I had this magicalness. My stuffed animals all spoke to me, so I always surrounded myself with
Oh,
stuffed animals, and they would speak to me. I didn't know those were my guides. I just thought the stuffed animals really did talk. So I had this very magical state of mind, regardless of everything that was going on around me. And I still carry that. Now that I've done all this work, I peeled away so much that I can reach back into my childlike imagination. And the imagination is a God given gift to all of us to use, to create, and to see what we see. And we all see, we could be looking at the same thing even with our eyeballs and have a different perspective. So we see things differently, but yet we're all collecting the information in different ways.
I've
Um,
been, thank you for saying that because this is what we've discovered. Um, it, and they told me that the imagination is the imagination gateway to the other side. It's a vehicle for them to communicate to us through it. And we've been programmed as humans that the imagination was just a figment of our imagination. It was not real.
right,
It was not to be paid attention to. It was to be ignored or very,
right,
trite, not really considered as uh, as truth. But what we realize is this is where we get our information from is through our imagination.
yes,
This is probably why they nixed it and took out all the arts, all of the
hmm,
creative arts, and
right,
took away all of that stimulus because this would keep us connected to the other realms and the other
right,
dimensions. But this is how I connect, and this is how they've told me that this is the secret. This is the secret, is to use your imagination and
hmm,
to remove the disbelief, and to actually and it's sort of like it's a way to begin. Like if you were to write a story about a girl who lived in a house and she met her friends, and like you would start the story in an imagination, and then they would be able to come in and start filling in, and you would
hmm,
go on an amazing journey, and it's information that they're bringing into you. So there's some sort of a connection there
hmm,
that is just amazing. And Maria, you have such beautiful energy. You and I have been connected for many months, maybe 10, 11 months now it's been. And we've
hmm,
been connecting once a month together because there is information and energy that I like to share and learn from. And we sort of had like a sharing or a meeting of the minds and the energies together. So you have helped me in such a great deal. And it's been just a beautiful experience together, what we shared. it's and I know your story and all of these things that you're telling me. I haven't realized exactly how much it was so profound for you. I
Yeah.
also want everybody to know that Maria has a YouTube channel and it's called High Vibin 888. And she also chronicles her experiences there on her YouTube channel. Make sure you go back to the very first one because she illustrated a download or an experience that she had while on a starship or uh, a
Yeah.
vehicle, and it was just phenomenal, so beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, and so Dave Maud actually had a comment here, and I just wanted to share this. And he says there's been a
Yeah.
huge shift yesterday and today. I definitely
Oh,
felt that.
wow. Yes. They told me to go outside last night because I was my body started to feel the effects of a cold coming on. And I'm like, oh no, I was like, oh no, because my throat, whatever. So they told me to go outside. When I went outside, I was looking up at the stars, and I felt this energy come in, and then I started doing light language on myself. And they said something about integrating power. I don't know
Wow.
what they meant by that, but there was a shift, and it seems like it's happening more often, and you can feel it. More of us are becoming more sensitive to these energies, so that's
Right.
exciting.
I,
Yes.
I was on Shane's channel last week, and
Uh,
I somebody had asked a question, and I don't really recall exactly what the specific question was, but the answer was that the astrological planet lineup is like a combination lock where you would turn one way, turn one the other way, and then it opens up, and there's like a direct line, a direct
right.
portal right to us.
Yes.
And there's a shifting of the planets, that these things are all becoming aligned. And every time there's a tick in the planets, we feel a little bit more of this energy. But there's going to be an alignment that allows a lot of energy and a lot of information to come through.
Hmm.
It's like an opening, it's like an
Yes,
unlocking.
I'm feeling that December, a lot of us are going to expand even more. Like we're going to be having more experiences, more like light shows, ETs, more ships. They're going to
Yes.
start showing up more. Just a lot of exciting things happening for those who are walking this path, this enlightening, this ascension that we're going through, and you're doing the work on yourself, and you're walking that path, walking that red road. We're getting there, and they keep telling us to ground and be present as human beings, especially the star seeds. They're saying the star seeds need to bring it in and be human, like watch,
Integrate.
yeah, integrate, that's the word, and be human and enjoy life, enjoy the simple things, like
The
play with your dog.
humanness.
Yes,
The
be human.
humanity in us.
Mhm.
They are sending us these energies, this information, this frequency, and we are to ground this in our humanness, and we are to be as human as we possibly can, and to enjoy the simple things, like you said, and to integrate all of this energy into our being, into our body, so that it can then raise the vibration of Gaia and everyone around us. So the more that
Yes.
we can be human, as what, like, we can't just go up into the stars and be in the stars all the time. It's
Not
lovely,
all the
but
time.
they keep saying, come back down and bring it in here and live
Yes,
with
the
it.
heart centered. Be happy, be in joy in the midst of what you're going through, because there's so much, and there's just so much information. It's so hard to get it out because I feel like I'm getting my own way. Like people aren't going to understand, and they're going to, I don't know. It gets easier as you do the work, as you shed, as you feel the emotions and the hurt, the pain that you're releasing. Um, you need to feel it, and then you need to oh wow, that hurt, but then you have to understand why it hurt. You examine it and then release it, and then you go up another step. But you have to do that work too, where don't shove those emotions out of the way. And they're telling me to, they want me to do a light language for the group, for, and it's they said it's timeless, but it's to help clear the excess heaviness that's like ready to be released, but it's kind of stuck there, like pulling the plug, and then it'll make it easier for you to release what needs to be released. A
Please
lot of
do.
releasing.
On the
Yeah.
other side of the pain, on the other side of diving into the actual emotion and the actual pain of of our emotions is an awareness and an awakening.
Yes.
A it's it's there is, on the other side is an awareness. It's just an
When you
openness.
come through it, when you go through that dark night of the soul, and then it's just for a little while. You don't have to stay there.
No,
The energies, you'll start rising back up. Then you can have a higher perspective of what the heck you just went through, and
perspective.
then you're in a lighter state. Yes, and it's a healing, releasing, and that gives, it leaves more room for light to be brought into your vessel,
That's beautiful.
because we're lighting up. We need to, we
And
need to lighten up
if we
our
find
bodies.
that the pain is persisting, it's only because we're resisting going through it. We're resisting actually feeling it. And so it persists because it wants us to feel it so that we can get to that other side and to gain that perspective. This is just my theory. It's my my experience, is why these things may be happening. Um, and in your own words, Maria, just to you, what would light language mean to you? It's like a healing from the stars.
They're codes.
Okay.
Asahi hanaka to ohoya hanaka ta hese e ho kato anya. They're codes, um, because we are made up of light, and the vibration of the words is what's uh it's like your soul understands, or it's a needed code. They're like little keys that open up. Um, even if you don't understand it yourself, it's a they help that way with vibrations. That's what they're saying. Um, oh yeah, this, let me get back to this, the ETs. So they've been coming around more and more and teaching me, but they're also showing me future stuff like technology, and um, they're giving me tours of their ships. I go on their ships, and I'm a starseed. That's what I learned about myself. Uh, a hybrid, and Pleiadian, Lyrian, Octurian. And I'm part of the Galactic Federation. Um, there's been a lot of changes up there, but I'm not going to go there. That's not my role to talk about that. My role is to bring in the frequencies. So I started channeling the galactic beings. They're healers. Um, yes, the reason why I call myself a multidimensional, and you are too, and a lot of our mediums who are contracted to be will be, because there's other mediums that have a role to just work with the fourth dimensional realm, where there's a lot of healing happening for people dealing with loss and grieving, and but then many of us are also helping the awakening process. We're being used to tap in not only to that realm, but all the other realms, tapping into other aspects of the soul, tapping into the other layers of dimensions and frequency, collecting the energy, bringing in the energy and the information from different realms that are from the beings that are here to help in the ascension. Um, so many of us are connecting to all the other realms, the higher self, the angels, the elementals, the galactics, the interdimensionals. There's just so much. It's all the same thing to me. It's all
Hmm.
one, just different aspects, different ways of communicating, different. It's just so much. I might write a book. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. And we talk about this often on the shows and in the community here, and it's just so beautiful to see the work in progress. You know, somebody who's experienced it and been through it and have seen, you can hear in Maria's voice the authenticity, the just the sheer light that comes through her voice when she speaks of this. She is not creating this. This is her experience. This is firsthand experience that she's talking about. And she is no different than you and I, other than she has opened up to this experience and has welcomed it in. We all have this ability. We all have this of energy, feelings, and experiences, and we all can raise this frequency and the energy of the humanity and Gaia all together. It's just so beautiful, the delivery that you express, Maria, as an individual, as a soul, and you have no like I'm better than you or you can't do this. It's
I
all
don't know
it's all
nothing.
like
I always say that. I don't know.
we're all in it together. We're all in it
Yes.
together.
Yeah, we are. And they had to rein me in because I'm like trying to tell everybody, oh, you could do this too, you could do this too. But then I'm learning everybody has their own role, a different, we all, it's like the members of our body, the hand, the foot, the eye, we all have roles in the whole scheme of things. So not all of us are going to be doing this because they have a different calling. Um, so oh my god, I can't even talk. But I feel like no, I can't. I have a hard time. So they've been
That's
working with me
okay.
with that, with the articulating.
Right.
Um, and
Beautiful.
believe me,
Beautiful.
I've resisted. I've been resisting so much and talking back to them, being like disrespectful. Like, are you kidding? You guys are crazy. I'm not gonna do that. You know, and they're like, here she goes again. Because I tend to do that, but I'm getting so much better now. When they said go outside, I'm like, it's too cold to go outside. Stop arguing with them and just go do it. And I received this powerful energy, light language from them just from being out there. I was grounding. That's why I put my feet on the ground. Um, so here comes the language. Whew, yeah, here we go. Yeah. And if translations come, I will give you the translations. Everyone, just close your eyes, relax. You don't have to close your eyes, but you might want to. Say, Hanya. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Say, Hanya. So, so, yate. Yate, ke, so, on, ke. Aya, for sure, oh, ya, katanya. Aya, how, oh, to, oh, ko, nahi, to. Say, here. Heko nia 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 nia. Se sa to 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 se ko la ka tai. Ai tai ha ka tai to da ya. Uru ru ro ko ta ti to ru ya ka tia. Se cha ti o ko to. Se a nia 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 nia. O ya hai hai ta en na ka hu su 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 su. Alia. Te ho ho ha te en ya. So o ya ka te esh nia nia ko tu 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 tu. Su 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 su. Ya mo. Ti tu ro te. Se te en ya ka te. It's like sia hianya kate he sia sia tia. Oh yeah, yokoto shi to. And yeah, sia. 후야야야 데데데냐 데데카토소토도야네 세세토코냐데 세헤니아코수 하요예 Preako roto hoate karete, rudia ratem brua brua, preka prera, shora kata, oya hata roi ra 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 ra. So there's like some star seeds that are connecting with the Lyrans. They're very strongly here right now. Pleiadians, Starseeds activation. Tateka toya nya nya nya. Deko so anya huatea haishakota hanya hanyu hasia honyo nya kase soto soto. Okay, that was it. There is a lot of clearing of mostly the sacral. There was a lot of sacral clearing, making room for creativity, they were saying. It helps with the imagination, using your creativity. There was activations, light codes. They did something with the crown chakras and the third eye. They were doing a lot of work for a lot of people. So
Wow. Thank
that
you
was it.
very much. Everyone is saying how much they really enjoyed it. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And well, I felt as though there was two different sources there that were coming through. The sounds were the light language sound was one way, and then it changed to a different way. Could you tell that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. There is Arcturian. There's this cosmic being that comes through me. I see him as a
Oh,
Apache
wow.
native medicine man, and he's very cosmic. His language is different. It kind of sounds native and Chinese a little bit. I don't know, but he comes in. Mm, he's really helping with the activations and clearings. He does a lot of clearing. That's when he comes in. And then there's a Syrian light that comes in that does some work. I work with like 4 or 5 different energy when I do this work. Pleiadians came in. There was Lyran spoke. They kind of roll their tongues. They roll my tongue. I don't know, like they're purring or something. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. So,
but I can't do that when I'm not channeling. I can't
wow.
recreate it.
Wow. So Jules Niner is saying, I knew I heard a native mix like Chippewa or Cree. And I actually was connecting for somebody answering a question. And I think they were asking about their guide, and I saw as so you called your native a cosmic being. Is
Mhm.
is that would you be able to kind of share with us a little bit? Like, is it an ancestor that has ascended and is in the cosmos, or is it an ET race that looks native? Because I I've connected to a higher vibrational energy that was like a very powerful type of chief, but it felt more like a an ascended being somehow.
Yes. Um, he came. He appeared to me as Geronimo, and I don't. I had a reading from another channeler who's channeled him, and we were both speaking to each other in the same language, and then
Wow.
it's like I was speaking to her, but we were channeling these beings. It was crazy, but it's a connection that these galactic. It's an energy. It's a group of energy that's connected to certain tribes or indigenous people, and they can appear as a certain archetype.
Okay.
They use for me. They use an Apache, a chief. There was one vision I had where I was in the midst of medicine, indigenous people. There were shamans and medicine people from different tribes, and we were in a circle, and they were passing a pipe. And when the pipe came to me, I realized it was tobacco mixed with marijuana. And I'm like, oh no, I cannot partake of this. And they said, partake, it is our way. But it's esoteric. I had some kind of initiation because I'm like, I'm half native. But I have friends I never studied native stuff. I just a normal person. I didn't really, um, I wasn't really brought up with the traditions of our native side. So, but I had native friends who told me that if I was given an eagle feather, that's a very high honor. And I was
Wow.
also given a blanket. They put a red blanket. They put it over my shoulders. And then I sat and I was able to partake with them like I was included and like some kind of medicine work, energy work. And so I found out later through my deceased grandmother that we are from a line of shamans in on her side. And she didn't know until she passed. When she passed, then she understood. So she came to tell me that we're from a
Right.
line of shamans. So I'm like, okay, but I don't practice shamanism. I just do the like language. I travel like shamans do. I can go to all the realms, below, above. It just comes easy for me.
Wow.
So it's just a natural thing. I don't know. I was gifted this, but here
It's,
I
yeah.
am trying to
There
figure it
are,
out and trying to help people with it.
right. There are no boxes. There are no
Mm.
rules. There are things that are generalizations or tendencies, or you experience this type, but there's no hard and fast kind of box that you have to put everything in. There's so many things that are blended together that it's really important to be open to a lot of different ideas and a lot of different experiences. I just think it's so beautiful.
Um,
The beautiful melody of backgrounds and experiences that you put together, Maria. You really are a special and unique individual.
I just
So,
thank you. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm like, do I draw them? Do I write a book? I don't know. So I have a blog. I don't like. I have so many ideas. It's like ADD or something, or ADHD. But I'm fine tuning it, and I'm really. They keep telling me I'm here to activate star seeds. I'm here to activate them because it's time for them to also help bring in and start their mission or their roles, helping the galactics, connecting the cosmic energies into the earth grid, because this is a cosmic thing and it's happening to this planet, and we need more star seeds to awaken. They had to slap me a couple of times to wake me up. so so I'm here to just to help activate
wow.
others and help lighten the load. I'm
So,
an emotional empath, so I help clear the traumas, and
mhm.
yeah, it
And
just comes naturally.
you do this as doing videos on your YouTube channel. You do this by visiting others people's channel, and you also do one-on-one readings, and you do Zoom readings as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what
Mhm.
is the best way for them to contact you if somebody would like to get a reading from you? I do have your YouTube channel and your email from your YouTube channel in the description box.
That's how you get in contact
Okay.
with me. I also have a website that I finally fixed it, so you can contact me on my website too. It's hold on, emeraldlightintuitive.com.
Oh,
or or you can, it's easier I guess on YouTube just to go on my about page, and I have it there,
oh, I did
and my
see that.
blog
I did.
too. Mhm.
Oh, okay. It is on. I did
Mhm.
see that. I wasn't sure what that link was. I didn't realize it was you too. Okay, good. Good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still working on that website. So just email me and we talk. Because if you want a session with me, yeah, it's about 45-minute session. It depends. Hmm. Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we would love to have Maria come back and tell us a little bit more about her journey, as well as maybe do some readings with us
Yes,
if she wants to next time. And
I
we
would
can
love
have
it.
her. You're doing a phenomenal job, a beautiful job. You are articulating your thoughts very clearly. You're very calm, and you're able to connect and get the information and bring it through and send it out to us. And this is a journey and an evolution for Maria, because she would get so much that it wouldn't come out as well as it is right now. So I can see such amazing growth in you, and such big changes. And you did
Thanks so
also
much for
just
your support, Jean. Because I'm the reluctant medium. I'm the reluctant, but I'm getting over myself, my shyness. I'm getting over it. So thank you.
that's a journey. It is. And you recently had an amazing BQH session with Shane from Unbiased and on the Fence.
That was crazy. Because he was there with me. I've had one BQH before. Hold on. Hey, please. It's okay. It's just family members. Come here. Come here. I know we don't have time, huh? Okay. Come here. Shh. I forgot what I was saying.
The BQH. That's all right.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
right.
The first one I had one where I learned a lot about myself. And then this one was crazy with Shane, where they were just showing me stuff, like high stuff. The pyramids, uh a past loved one was there too, or a friend was there, or in spirit guiding us. Oh, that was a crazy one. I can't get over that one. And the praying mantis that came through, I was channeling him, and that was very high energy. Yeah,
It was
I loved
very
it.
exciting.
I
Very
want to do
exciting.
another one.
I know. I know. I think there's a series there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You inspired me. I recently did another BQH with Shane, and in the last couple of weeks I have it, and I'm editing it. So yeah,
Did you
it
have
was really,
experience
really
too? Like,
uh,
did you go places?
we did, but I'm not as well versed in the well, actually I was an ET. I was an ET in the opening scene, and I was in my ship, and I was staring out at a landscape, and it was interesting. It was very interesting, but it
You're part of the Orion Council. You know that, right? It's about Orion.
I've
I
heard
think
that
I told
once
you that
before.
the first time we connected, I picked up Orion Council. I'm like, oh, but I don't know anything more than that. But I know that we meet on the ship, because you also go to those meetings that I go to on the ships.
Wow.
We need to
So Kelly
connect.
is asking what
Yeah,
Shane's channel is. It's unbiased and with an ampersand on the fence. Unbiased and on the
unbiased.
fence. And I in my
I have it in
I
my.
ha-
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I do have some in what is it called? That thing that you connect a playlist. I have some of his
Yeah,
shows in my
I
playlist,
put
and
that
I'm
one
on
in the
his channel
playlist.
once a month doing mediumship as well. So
Yeah. So I have both BQHs in my playlist too. I hope it's access for everybody. Yeah, because
right.
I don't know.
So it's unbiased, ampersand
Mhm.
sign, on the fence. Unbiased and on the fence. Yeah, yeah.
It's a great
But
show. He
yeah,
Watching that show helped me through my journey. Yes.
he really did. He was the first one that asked me when I got started. I was doing tarot cards, believe it or not. I guess it was back in the end of 2019 or 2020. And I said, yeah, I was doing some tarot cards for a friend of mine, and he says, why don't you pull a couple of tarot cards for the chat here? And I
Yeah.
was like, what? And I pulled a card, and I just started reading people. I didn't say anything about the card at all.
Mm-mm.
But I was like tuning into the person. It was it was my first experience. I mean, it was amazing. So Shane is definitely a catalyst and a starseed awakener, and he's been an amazing conduit for all of us for
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
He used to have a call-in show, and I remember calling on the show and told one of my stories. I think I read it. I wrote it down. I read it to the chat, to the show. Yeah. So we both were on his show in a way. But then now you're. I enjoy your when you come on to his show once a month. I love it.
Yeah,
Love
we do
it.
readings. We do readings on the show once a month, and Shane is amazing. He really holds space and allows the vibration to be as high as necessary for me to bring through the information that is important for everybody to learn about. At that time, it's really a lot of fun. Oh, Allie's here. Hi, Allie. Heart and Soul Connected. Thanks for stopping by, Allie. So nice. Okay, well,
Hi.
we are at an hour,
An
and
hour. Yeah.
yeah, so let's have Maria back. Yes, we'd love to have you
Yes.
back.
I
Thank
would
you
love to
for
come back. Yes. Yes.
And thank you for, I mean, this is only 1 hour, and she really tried to give a general view of her experience in just a short time. But my gosh, we did cover a lot today. So thank you very much. It was, and I just wanted to also, because Allie was prompting me, I just got a reminder that John Binney, who we also have on our show, he's been on my show, and he was just recently on Allie's show, and he's well known. He also is part of this Shane, and
The
unbiased and on the
shade.
fence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are all
We're all
one big
family.
happy.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Maria, for your time, for your
Thank
expertise.
you for
And
having
thank
me.
you, everybody in the chat, for hanging in there
Thank
with us and for all of
you.
your comments. And I didn't get a chance to bring too many people up on the screen today, but we have been really appreciative of all of your participation. And thank you very much, everybody. There's just everybody is here. I just really appreciate it. Whether you're watching now or watching later, any of the healings and messages that were expressed here today are continuous, and will
Mm-hmm.
travel on as long as the video is shown. So yeah. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care now. Bye. Thanks
Bye.
again.